We're live.
You're not gonna hold it?
Live.
You don't want to hold it?
Yes, I can hold it.
All right.
Testing.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to Hola, Let's Chat. I'm your host, Melanie, and today's another special guest episode with...
Rahul.
All right.
What's... Oh, hold on. Run it back, man.
Let's run it back.
What do I say?
I mean, you kind of do like a little introduction.
Oh, man. Look,
You know?
the instructions for this podcast are maybe in Spanish because I'm not clear on what's going on, man.
He said, no hablo español.
No hablo español, man.
All right, it's all good. This is Rahul. We work together,
Mm-hmm.
right? I do some content for Rahul for his business, which we're going to talk about today. And yeah.
Yeah, so Rahul, CEO, founder of Stoned Genie. Mel works with us and does a lot of our all of our Instagram videos and, product promotion stuff. And yeah, it's been good. You've been working with us how long now? Over a year?
Yeah.
It's been over a year and still not been on time one time in a year, but it's all right. Mel's here. She's trying. So...
This is not good for my reputation. This is not good. Hey, no, but on like an honest side, I have gotten better with my time.
Yeah.
Not here, maybe, but
she's just a half an hour late instead of an hour late. So now we have to work on getting. Yeah, there you go.
Improvement. All right. So before we get into that, let's see. I got some speed round questions.
Okay.
Real quick, just a little fun.
Okay.
All right. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Oh, man. Describe myself in 3 words?
Just 3.
Patient, nice, and humble.
All right. Favorite quote?
Favorite quote. I can accept trying, but I can accept failure, but I can't accept not trying.
All right. Something you love about yourself?
Oh, man. This is really conceited questions here. I like... that I have learned that patience is where that's what really gets you places. Like being impatient is a recipe for disaster.
Okay. All right. Something you can't leave the house without.
Man, I guess my weed.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Sometimes
bad.
I have it at my warehouse, but or my phone. As I've been getting older, I've been getting allergies, so sometimes allergy medicine. But yeah, mainly weed.
All right, I knew you were going to say that, but I didn't want to.
Damn, she didn't want to racial profile me.
All right, pineapple on pizza.
Not a thing.
You know what? This is where the episode concludes.
My girlfriend is a big pineapple on pizza person.
All right, she's allowed on the podcast.
Yeah, you might need her as a guest.
I don't know about you now. You just killed it for the rest of the team. All right, next question.
All right.
Aliens exist, yes or no?
Aliens, man, I feel like I thought they did until all those fake videos started coming out of how they do exist now. So now I don't know what to believe. So I'm going to pass on that.
You're going to pass?
Yeah.
All right. And that's going to conclude a little speed round questions.
Okay.
So let's dive into like the whole business thing. Let's start from like, the beginning from what you can remember.
Beginning. Okay. Yeah, so I used to work in like finance industry for a long time, and my dad used to own a smoke shop. So that's kind of where I got exposed to this industry and the product line and stuff like that. And so my dad always would ask me to like, can you make him a website? Can you sell this stuff online? So that was like my first start. So I started with actually selling stuff on eBay. So eBay is where I first started. I'd post stuff on eBay, take pictures with my iPhone, and, just come on the weekends, take photos, post them. And that was it. That was the beginning. And then I would just from there, I was like, okay, cool. I was like, this actually has some potential. And then I would, on the weekends, really spend time looking at what I was doing, try to expand. And yeah, now I'm like 5 years later. And so here I am.
Really? 5 years? So
It's only been like 5 years, yeah.
What year was that?
So I quit my job officially in 2019. And so Before that, I was doing it for a few years while I was working and doing this on the side. So total, like I've been doing it like now full time. It's just crossed 4 years. So now it's like, okay, full time, really working on it every single day.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so the smoke shop is it still out there or not anymore?
We sold the smoke shop. So now we're 100% online. So
everything's online?
Everything's online. We do everything online, direct to the customer and wholesale.
Okay. And where are you like nationwide wise?
Everywhere. Yeah. We sell things everywhere. Yeah, we sell a lot to all 50 states. We sell a lot to Canada. I've sold stuff to Mexico, Switzerland, Amsterdam, just everywhere because we're online. So people can find you anywhere. We've sent stuff to a smoke shop in Mexico before. We've sent stuff to like, I want to say Chile, like it's just anywhere. The industry is big. And if you have a presence online, people can find you. And then that is how you're able to reach customers.
Yeah, that don't know about
you. Yeah, that might not have access, because that's where I found a lot of opportunity, is that being in California, we're really spoiled with the options available at our fingertips, because California, you can go walk into, there's a smoke shop every 2 miles, every mile, right? And you can walk in and get, but in a lot of states that are like, more spread apart, things like that, they don't have access. And that's where being available online really comes into play. And so that's where we focus. And we still sell a lot in California too.
Yeah. Okay. I would hope so.
Yeah, no, California is big.
Okay, cool. And so you would definitely say that like just hopping online made a big difference for your business to boom?
I mean, yeah, definitely. You want to do everything you can. If you do have a brick and mortar store, I would say still go online, because you essentially want to be able to do it any which way. We did sell the smoke shop because online was like pretty crazy at the time, 2019, and then going into 2020. Like 2020 was good for me because I was already on, like, the infrastructure was all ready, and I already had been working on the website for years and had customers. And so when 2019, 2020 happened, there was a crazy boom with the online sales, and we were able to really take advantage of that and have been just focused online. So yeah, it helps a lot, because the thing is with the brick and mortar stores, like a mom and pop smoke shop, they don't have the like those shops aren't as savvy as an online shop operates, because they're just reliant on foot traffic and the local customer base. Like with us, when you're online, there's a lot more tools available that allow you to remarket to the customer. You're able to then, you create your Instagrams, your Facebook, so your customer's always up to date with what you have, all the new stuff that you have. Yeah. And it allows you to really develop a better connection with the customer. At least I believe. There's other smoke shops that probably still do are able to do it, but I feel it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, to like bring them back, right?
Bring them back, have them buy something right there and then. You know what I mean? They have to come in, and so things happen. So
okay. And blanked out there for a second.
See, not prepared.
All right, so then from there, it's just kind of like,
I mean, yeah.
Going.
Look, there's ups and there's downs. We have a lot of ups, and like I would say now is like a little bit more like you see a lot in the news. Economy is and as good. So I feel like now is where a lot of businesses earn their stripes. But yeah, online is amazing because you're able to reach customers that you would have never had, right?
Yeah.
And it's a marketplace where you can expand your business. Like if you have a brick and mortar store, you only have like 1 or 2 items on each shelf, right? Here we can have like probably 2,000 to 5,000 SKUs that operate out of the same square footage of the warehouse. So online you can have like a big store, but you don't have as much, you don't need as much space to operate. As opposed to retail front, you have to have, everything out, displayed towards the customer. So, there's positives and negatives.
Yeah. So what would you say has been like a big struggle, like during pandemic time or more like in the beginning or after?
I'd say in the beginning, just getting started, I think like when you come into an industry like this, there's a lot of things you don't know about. Like it's hard to get payment processing. You can't do advertisements. And so you're kind of operating from this gray area. So like a lot of businesses would, just set up PayPal or you get Square or something like that. And you aren't able to get access to those tools because they don't allow this industry payment processing and things like that. Even Google, there's a lot of things that are restricted to you. So overcoming that in the beginning was really difficult because you're kind of like stuck. You don't know how do you get your product out there to more people?
Like the professional way?
Just anyway, like how do you get your product? So like say you want to like start a website tomorrow, right? And you're going to sell t-shirts. You could probably get that up within a couple of days. You can use Shopify payments. You can connect directly into PayPal, get up and going. But when you sell like these kind of products that are in the gray area, you have to get a high risk payment provider. So you have to apply with them. And then with them, you have to provide bank statements. It's not like you're able to just get everything up and running in the snap of a finger. So those are the things that you'll find difficulty on. And you might have some success with something. And then Instagram might flag your post. Or you're always working with, like bans or takedowns. And so you have to have really thick skin and be really ready to, not be frazzled by everything because a lot of things can happen and it can happen quickly.
So there's still like banning certain things even in this industry, like nowadays?
For sure. Like on Instagram, you can't promote like anything with actual weed in it, right? They'll like flag it or it's like age restriction stuff. Like even on like,
because like
Google, even YouTube will take stuff down if it has like any type of like weed smoking, or you can be you can't be monetized. You can't monetize on their platforms. There's all these different bans that happen in the industry that people don't know about at first. And people often just give up because it's just such a headache. And I think that's where you have to, stick with it. So.
Because I thought like certain regulations like were changing, especially now because weed was legalized, right?
It's legal in California, but it's not federally legal. So because like the platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and all that, I don't know the exact reasoning, but I'm imagining is that they have, bank accounts at federal banks, investors from, that they have to keep certain guidelines in place. None of them want to be in cannabis or this and that. Like there's certain promotion guidelines they have to have that they can't allow these products to be promoted and so it's just finding new ways to market. There's like new ways to get creative is like how you stay alive in this industry.
And would you say that like, do you have a lot of competition here in California?
Oh yeah. California is a hub for everything. Yeah. California is crazy. Yeah, you can go, if you are a business in California, there's a lot of competition, for sure.
Especially like in this industry?
Yeah, industry, yeah. You can go to downtown LA, there's a lot of suppliers. There's a lot of smoke shops everywhere. But there's a lot of business in this area too. But, you're definitely like, everybody is coming with their A game, that's for sure.
It's like, what would you say your business is? What makes your business stand out as of right now?
So for us, because our business, we go direct to the customer on our Stoned Genie site, and that's our main part. That allows us to provide the customer with a price point that's better than any price point they'll get in the store. Because we work directly with the manufacturers and I cut out all the middle people, so like if you go to a smoke shop today, that smoke shop is buying from like a distributor or a wholesaler that bought it from someone who like imports it in. So there's like 2-3 people. For me, I import the goods directly and then we get the photos taken, get all of it, get it all organized, and then we sell it directly to the customer. So there's no distributor and wholesaler in between. So the customer is able to get a price from us that is like close to it's going to be a better price if they're going to buy any smoke shop they walk into.
So because there's no middle people, it makes it better for you and the customer?
It makes it better for both of us. Yeah, I'm able to provide the product at an affordable price to the customer, and they're able to get something at a cheaper rate, and I'm able to survive on. So I could be greedy and charge more, but for me, I feel like if you price correctly, if you really price correctly, then you can do well, because customers have all the knowledge in the world, right? You want to buy something, you're checking 5 websites, 10 websites. It takes, you know what I mean? They can check your reviews, check your Instagram. So the consumer is not stupid. So you have to really be, like pricing things at a good price, like at a good rate where the customer feels like they're getting a deal. And you as a business are able to like sustain, like, okay, if that's the markup, then you're able to operate off that markup.
So you're not losing money, right?
Oh yeah, you can't lose money. You have to be able to, make money and be able to reinvest it. And then also, you got to pay your employees, you got to pay your warehouse space. There's a lot of bills that come with it. And,
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, and you're paid last, like dead last. so the bills come first for sure, and your people come first. That's how it works. You know what I mean? Huh. And suppliers, everybody.
So did you used to do it the other way around in the beginning?
I would do what?
Going from you to distributor?
No. So yeah, since my dad had the smoke shop, he would buy stuff locally.
Oh, okay.
And so that's how I was able to realize okay, if we're going to sell online, we have to be more competitive on price. Mm-hmm. So we need to look to import ourselves. And that's where my dad has a lot of relationships over in, different countries. And that's where we were able to leverage that relationship to get set up with a supplier and, and then just being able to have a good relationship with the supplier those are all big things that you won't think about until you're in the business. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things that go into just getting your goods into the United States. You know what I mean? There's a lot that goes into it.
So have you ever thought, or maybe you are thinking of the idea of having an actual Stoned Genie
storefront?
Yeah, a store.
Nah, I don't really want to do storefronts.
Really?
I would say because of just how much I like that the online part is mm-hmm. There's a level of freedom I get that a storefront doesn't allow. A storefront, there's somebody always has to be working there and stuff, mm-hmm. and you're open to the public. And so for me, I don't think I would enjoy that process. So I am just focusing online, getting my, online, and we only stuff we deal with in person are with our wholesale customers who are smoke shops or dispensaries, and they're local. Sometimes they'll be just in the local area, and then they'll come by. But storefront wise, I can't say I would. No.
At this moment in time?
No, yeah. It just would take too many resources. Yeah. I mean, it would just be too much.
It would be cool though.
It would be.
Stoned Genie?
Yeah. But there's a lot of costs that come with it too. It's just, and I know a lot of businesses and a lot of smoke shops deal with, the customer base is also, it's rough too. So it's just a hard business to be successful in with the storefront. And then when you have a storefront like this, right? If we just sell glass, it's not going to work. You have to carry everything. You got to carry cigarettes. You got to carry vapes. You got to carry, X, Y, and Z. And then so then you all of a sudden you have to your inventory levels are really high. And now you're oh shit. Okay. Now I got to sell all this. So I think understanding inventory levels, that's where you make your decisions. It'd be cool, whatever, but is it profitable? Can you make it profitable? And can you make it profitable quickly is the question.
So for you, when you're doing inventory and all that, do you base it off in a few months ahead or weeks?
A couple months ahead. Probably I try to have at least 3 to 4 months of inventory on hand for certain products. Depending on how well the product sells for us, I have some that's more on hand, some that are less. Just depending also, I would say our inventory levels compared to a couple of years ago, we have to be a little bit more weary of. Before, things are moving really, really quickly. Mm-hmm. Now, I think with the economy and people being a little bit more wary, cautious, I'm being now more cautious. So,
okay. Not over purchasing.
Not over purchasing, yeah, because that can also be a problem.
Because they're just left with everything.
Yeah, well, because if your inventory levels are high, that is okay, but then you have to have enough cash on hand to operate, and you have to advertise. So then if all your cash is tied up in inventory, how do you market and how do you do all that? So there's you have to understand like where, okay, I can dedicate this much to inventory, this much is going to marketing, this much is going to labor, and this and that. And then that's how you have to operate, because the last thing you want to do is be overstocked with not enough help. And because then when your inventory sits there, that's not a good thing. And see, luckily for us, we sell things that are year round. But if you were a clothing company and you had hoodies and you overbought your hoodies and now summer's coming, so now you have dead stock for at least a whole season. Yeah. And so then you have cash tied up that you're not able to get out. So, but that comes with learning over time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So making smart moves.
Making smart moves, getting burned, learning. It all comes with the territory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what would be some tips, maybe specifically in this industry, like the cannabis industry, or just in general for someone doing e-commerce or any business in general?
E-commerce, business in general, is you have to be patient. That is for sure. Everything is patience. Everything takes a long time. And you have to be willing to do things for the long run. If you're doing something, if you're like somebody who's watched 5 YouTube videos on how to be a drop shipper and order something on Alibaba, and then all of a sudden you're trying to sell it and you're can't sell anything in 2 weeks, and then you're posting on how come I can't sell anything? That is something where you're going to have to take L's in the beginning. That's just how it works. You don't know you don't know what your price point is. You don't know what you're going to be able to sell it for. And a lot of people try to have this oh, I'm going to get a product on Amazon. And then they have no idea how hard it is to get a product on Amazon.
There's thousands of the
same thing.
Product.
And that person that's number one that's on there, they're going to be able to sell it at a better price than you'll ever be able to get it for, because they have it's already set up. They're probably selling 10,000 units a month. So if you have a product that's on Amazon and you're buying it from China, it's going to be really, really hard for you to sell it on Amazon because that other person's already going to get it at a way better price.
I heard that they buy, right, for the, how you click on, let's say, pens, and the first 10 pens that come up, you buy that slot. Yeah, I heard.
Those are probably the promotion slots. Oh. So Amazon, as a seller, you can buy promo on your listings. So that's the first 3, even in Google, it's like that. You know how the paid ones are
recommendations?
First? Yeah, so that's how it is with Amazon. And it's pay per click or the pay per conversion or something. I don't know what they do, but that is also eats in your margin. And so the person who gets the product for the lowest price is going to win that battle, because Amazon's making their money. There's no way where you're not. Amazon's eating for sure
every day.
Yeah, and so and then you have to pay for because with Amazon, in order to get the Prime badge, it has to be stored in their warehouse. So then you have to also get your inventory, pack it up, label it correctly, and then ship it to an Amazon warehouse. And then you have to pay storage fees on your Amazon warehouse. There's transaction fees, there's ad fees, there's a lot of fees, and then Amazon has a crazy return rate. People return almost 30% of the stuff they buy.
Yep.
So then you have to be willing to do returns. And so there's a lot of nuance that goes into the business that people don't see. And that is very difficult, because those are the things that you have to work on to create a good business.
Does that not damage? Does that hurt the business when things are returned?
Yeah, because if the things are returned, then especially with an Amazon or something like that, where it's free returns and shit like that, well, that is for sure going to hurt, because then you have to take the inventory, someone has to inspect it, see if it's good. And if you're selling it through your own website or something, you might have to pay for return shipping. Sometimes the return shipping is more than the product, right? That's why a lot of times when you try to return stuff online, they'll just tell you to keep it.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
A lot of people will do that.
Yeah.
And so it's not even worth the time. So, that definitely impacts the business for sure. But you have to be able to understand your business. Like, the thing is that you have to be able to dive into those details and understand what is being returned, why it's being returned, and then, bake it into your cost.
If it's happening,
if it's happening, Amazon, there's always going to be returns because that's just how they've condition the buyer. The buyer buys with the know that they can return it. Mm-hmm. So from a buyer's perspective, it's really nice to shop on Amazon. From a seller's perspective, it's a headache. Yeah.
Have you ever
We sell some stuff on Amazon. I don't focus too much there.
Okay.
I probably should. I think this next year I want to. But I want to branch out into different lines, not like this line on Amazon because it's such a gray area. I don't want it to get pulled down or an Amazon account ban or anything like that. Yeah. But also just going direct to customer is I feel is the most sustainable way through my own website because it's just the customer and me are able to interact. There's a problem with the item. We're able to help them. We're able to suggest something. They're able to reach us.
We go back to...
with Amazon, that's not your customer. That's Amazon's customer. So you're not even allowed to reach out to them. There's all these rules in place. And so, people don't know the nuances of how it is to be a seller. But, I'm not saying it as a complaint. That's just what it is. That's Amazon's customer. That's how they want to operate. Yeah.
I had another question and se me fue.
What you got on your sticky note there?
I had a question. Oh, okay. Yeah. So what are some things maybe that you could share with us that you're looking forward for Stoned Genie this upcoming year?
I would say, we're focusing a lot on wholesale now and this wholesale side. So I'm investing more money in our wholesale business and our SEO there. So I'm excited about that because I think that is going to help us get more products out there and also help our regular direct-to-consumer business because it'll allow me to be able to move product at a faster rate and I'll be able to probably buy at a bigger rate, which will bring my cost per unit down, which will be able to let me offer better pricing to my customers. So they all intertwine together. I would say I'm excited for that. I'm excited to possibly move warehouses. We might get a warehouse that has, because we have the other one on the back, but that's all connected and stuff like that. So, I'm really excited for those things. Our SEO is working really good. And I'm really also doubling down on email and text marketing. So those are all avenues. We do them, but even being more sophisticated, really learning the details in those, how to segment out your list, when your customers look for stuff, how to recommend the right things to the right customers, because those are the skills that separate your business from just a regular old e-commerce business, right?
Not every customer is the same.
Not every customer is the same, right? Some customers like different colors, and that is in your data. So if you're able to identify those customers and then hand tailor product recommendations, attachments are big in ours, or anything, and that will allow, because your whole strategy in e-commerce is to acquire a customer and then how much lifetime value you can get out of that customer. Mm-hmm. So if you're somebody and you ordered a ping pong, right? Then a week later, we can send you an email hey, I heard you like pink. Here are our next other 5, our best sellers. And then boom, boom, boom. And so that allows the customer to know oh, okay, cool. You're going to recommend me something that I most likely will like. Mm-hmm. And that way you're able to engage and allow them to be more engaged with your brand. Because when you give a broad message to the same amount of people, our email list is huge. So if we give the same recommendations to all those people, there's going to be like probably 50, 60% that don't care about that. So you have to learn like, okay, this subset of people likes this subset of people like this. And there's a lot of different ways to get this intel, but it's really like allowing that data to mature in your website and then extracting it and looking and, and then, just learning those skills.
So we're trying to get more like customizable.
Get it more customizable, more personable in our brand, more customer nurturing. Those things I feel are like pillars of success.
Yeah.
And because those are you're doing it based off customers you already have. So it's just untapped revenue that is in your business. So
wow.
Yeah, that's how you have to look at it. Yeah, because if you look at when you buy something on Amazon, they're recommending you products, right? Like when you click on like, oh, other people like these. Like, how do you replicate those things in your own website, your own email marketing, things like that?
Yeah, because in Amazon, a lot of time, like I purchase something, it's just like a one-time thing, like, oh, I need this. Yeah,
Amazon is definitely like a place where people buy things like as you need it, I guess, or when you're looking for stuff. If you're looking to interact with like personal brands, I don't think that's really there on Amazon anymore. So people will go to like their websites that they find off Shopify, off
like
Instagram.
Etsy too.
We do Etsy. I feel like Etsy, you can have a good audience if you're like somebody who makes your own stuff. Like people who are
I've seen that.
Really crafty. So there's opportunity there too.
Okay, cool. I had another question that like sparked when you were talking. So what would you say is like your day-to-day? Like, do your day-to-day goes...
It's just everywhere. Especially especially when your content creator is late and then you have to... No, I'm just kidding. I would say in the mornings, I am usually like first thing in the morning.
All right, what time do you wake up?
Oh, what time do I wake up? Man, I try to wake up at 5:30 every day. I do my little, I don't want to be like cliche, like, oh, I work out, read, this and that, but I usually work out in the mornings.
My lemon water.
And then like lemon water in the morning.
Oh, really? You do?
I do that.
Stop.
Just recently, though.
Recently.
I do that because I'm trying to drink less caffeine early in the morning and drink like my coffee a little later. But anyways, and then, so like in the morning, I'll usually check in with our customer service rep just to be like, hey, any orders that need attention, any like escalation, stuff like that. They'll brief me like, oh no, we're all good today. Then usually, that's like, once I'm done with that, I make sure like the people in the warehouse that I have work assigned to, they understand what they need to do. They're good for the day. Any questions, I field the questions, and then they like go from there. And then from there, I start to look at what outstanding tasks I have for like what I want to accomplish for the week, and then I kind of operate based off that. And from week to week, that can change. So one week I'm like, okay, I want to work on the launch of this product, so I'll get everything ready for that. This week, I would say like this week I was like trying to prepare for Black Friday stuff. And then like, I'm also catching up on like work I was doing with something else. So I've been a little bit scattered, but I try to hone it into like 2, 3 things a day. Like, all right, these 3 things I can accomplish today that will help me tremendously. And then like, I try to identify those. And then I identify, like I have a task list, and then I'm like, okay, these 3 tasks, I don't need to do, someone else can do it. And then I put them in a bucket and then I assign them to people. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like how I break it down, and then I work on my day.
Like bullet points, or like I
use Asana. Asana is I guess like a workflow app.
Like, it's an app and like on website?
And on website, yeah. Okay. And you can invite your team members on it. And then inside, it's like if I assign a task in there, there's like everything we need for that task is in there. And then they can upload it and all these things. So it's a good thing for me, because when you're giving so many different people work, you don't want all the updates to come via email, because then you're going to lose track. So you have it in the little Asana, and then you can tell like, okay, this person's waiting on this. This one's done. So it's a little bit easier. It's easier to look at. You can plan. Okay. And so
like day to day, month,
the month, the week, whatever you want.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Is it free or do you pay?
I use the free one. Yeah, you can pay. They do have a free version though.
Oh, okay. And it like allows you to use it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about some other tips like that keep you yourself like organized?
I'm
in your
not
workflow?
very organized.
He said I'm not.
I would say use Asana for sure. Try to have a single place of truth where you put all your ideas. So like within that, like I'll have something where, okay, like I have an idea about something, and then like I'll put that little seed idea into like a certain area.
What do you mean?
So like I'll have an idea about something and I don't have much time to work on it, but I don't want to forget about the idea. So I'll put it in like this area where I'll put like work for later or work to figure out later.
Like on a document?
Like in Asana. So it's like it's like a little area. It's like a checklist area. You know, you make lists.
Yeah.
So you can have like a list and you can base them off like what like priority and stuff like that. So I kind of have one for later. And so when I have free time open up, that's when I'll like look at what my past ideas were where I didn't have time to like work on it. And then I'll pull it from there and I'll like, okay, this is what I want to work on. Because when you're working in a business, there's like so many layers to everything. So it can get really cumbersome on like, oh, okay, I want to add this new product line, or I want to say, okay, add a new product line. What do you need to do? I need to find a supplier. I got to make sure my credit card processor is okay with it. I need marketing material. And so I'll put all those as like subtasks, like when I start to think about it. So when I have time to actually work on it, then I'll start to think, okay, to make this thing real, what do I have to do? And then I start to organize my thoughts, and that develops into like, okay, now this person, you do this for me. This person, you do this for me. Do this. And that's like for you with the videos, right? Like you have to do some of the Christmas stuff, right? That's all in my list of the Christmas stuff launch. So we needed the assets made on the website. We need promo videos made. So then I'll have all, and I know, okay, Mel, promo videos, I need that from her. This person has to make me these graphics. And so that's how I'm able to make ideas actually take shape and actually be actionable. Because everyone's like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do my own thing. I want to do this. Yeah. Okay. But sit down and like, you have to just like sit down. Okay. What's one thing you can do today? What's one thing that you can do this week? And you start to build those out. Okay. This one I can't get to, but can somebody else do for it? And those are the little things that can actually like make you start to like gain some traction.
Build it up, right?
Build it up.
Okay. Oh. Recording?
Yeah, it's all good.
It's not dead yet. Okay. So you would say that you said you're not that organized?
I would not.
Not even like out of business? And how have you made it this far?
I don't think you need to be organized to be successful. That's for sure. I feel like my unorganization helps me and also doesn't help me in certain ways. But it's just how my mind works. Like I'm able to thrive in chaos, stuff like that. Not anymore. I don't really get like scared as easily about anything. Before, in the beginning, I would.
Scared as in?
Like anything. Like if I got a listing taken down because it was like, I would be scared. Like, oh, what's going to happen? This and that. But now I don't operate from a place of fear anymore. I think in business, in the beginning, there can be a little bit of imposter syndrome where you don't like feel like, man, like you know a lot. You don't know what you're doing. Because with entrepreneurship, you're operating from a place of you don't know a lot. You're just trying to figure things out, figure out new ways, opposed to a job where you're hired to do something and you're supposed to like master that skill for that job, right?
Over and over.
Yeah. And so you gain confidence there. See, like for me, I can be for one, like today I had somebody from China come, right? That was like a manufacturer who came. And so, you know, I'm having a meeting with him and like, I don't know much about getting this product in, but you know, you're able to conceptualize like, okay, I've done this type of work before, so I can like figure this out. And so being able to be, I guess we're talking about being disorganized. I even forgot, but being disorganized and like not being intimidated by stuff. Oh yeah. So not being intimidated allows me to like, you know, just operate from a place of confidence, a place of, you know, like I know I can do this. Before, when something bad would happen, you would question yourself a lot. Like, oh, am I really doing this? Like, damn, why am I taking on this headache? Oh, it's just so much work. And that can, you know, I don't say like I don't love what I do, but you know, there are like shitty times part of the business, right? Like not everything is fucking roses and fucking drinks by the beach and, out of the office on a beach. Nah, it doesn't work that. Like you're grinding, you're in the warehouse, you know what I mean? Like it's not what you would imagine it to be. And I actually like that because it's not, it's real. What'd you write?
Oh, I was thinking of an idea.
Oh, okay.
I have another question. So what would you, like how we were mentioning earlier about like the whole routine that like, everyone who wants to be successful has, right? That like perspective on that. What would be your I can't talk. So what would be your perspective on that? Like the whole, like, this is the entrepreneurship, like lifestyle.
I would say there is no lifestyle. It is whatever you are. You know what I mean? You are who you are. Like for me, my brain physically and I feel like works better in the morning. Like that's just who I am. At 9 p.m., if you ask me a question that requires any part of intelligence, I'm shut off. Like I can't think. I'm like, nah.
So we got a good time right now.
Yeah. So just learning who you are. Like I work at night too. Like it's not like I don't, but like the thing is that I try to do like my most important tasks when I feel like I have the most brain power. Mm-hmm. So the ones that really take, like I had an old boss tell me like, Rahul, you have to learn when to work on your business instead of in your business. And so working in your business is like packaging orders. I can come in here, package orders every day, do that. Or I can hire someone to package orders so I can, take a step back and actually see what's selling this week and see, maybe source new product, because those things are on the business task. That grows the business, expands it. Mm-hmm. So being able to, segment your time to when you work on the business stuff, when you have like the best brain power. But because in the business stuff is going to happen, like say like my mom and dad work in the business, right? Like my mom might have to do something one day where she can't print the labels so I have to go do that, whatever. Not the end of the world. But I know during that time, I'm not going to get time to do this. So I'll do that at a time where I'm like, okay, I'll get that out of the way so I can work on these important tasks. So really understanding how much capacity each task takes from you. And
in a day, right?
In a day. Okay. And being able to, cause like when you own your own business and stuff like that, the day can go back like that. And you feel like you didn't do anything, like completely just pass you by. And that can happen multiple times. So it's able to like, okay, how do you carve out time to make really needle moving moves? Like, if you sit here and package all your orders instead of hiring somebody, most likely you're going to never have more orders than you have right now because you're not working on marketing. You're not working on your email list. You're not working on like what new products your customers are asking for. There's so much other stuff that has to go on that you're not thinking about because you're working on in the business activities.
You're like on one branch of like 10.
Yeah, one branch of 10. And so, it's important. Those things are important. And, you should pay attention to the things that you need to do. But, in the morning, stuff like that, when I first get to the warehouse and like I have free time, then I work on things where I know like, okay, this is important. I need to like really think about this.
Has there been times that you've felt that you focused on one thing and like neglecting other parts of the business?
Yeah, all the time. We're a small business. That's literally your life. Your life is literally you're working on one thing too much and not enough on another. That's literally how your life works because you don't have the staff that a bigger business has. You don't have the money a bigger business has. So you're kind of like I'll have a meeting with the accounting team in the morning. Then I'll exchange emails with my SEO guy. And then I'm talking to my customer service people. And then I'm talking to the shipping team. Mm-hmm. And then I'm thinking about what I need to do, right? So you're
on top of that,
right? And so those are all things that your head has to touch all those, right? And then, so what was your question again? I'm trying to bring it back full circle. She's been stealing some of my za, man.
Oh, that you neglect some areas.
Oh yeah. And that's, and then that happens and then, so like you're doing all that and then you're like, maybe I could have found more products to add to our website, right? And like this, like I have a lot of times where I'm like, damn, I should have added this earlier, or I didn't look at this in time. Like my dad he knows a lot of the product line. He'll be like, hey, let's order this. So let's go meet this supplier. And I'm like, oh, not today. I don't have time for that today. Mm-hmm. So that in theory, yeah, I'm working on something, but I am neglecting that task that could help us. You know what I mean? So that's literally how your life works. And so you have to be able to know which one you're able to take on and, you know.
Prioritizing your time
and where you spend your energy. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I feel like we've talked a little about this before because you were like, oh, I want to do this and that, but I got to be here first.
Yeah.
You know, the priorities of what you got to do that day. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, we got some good conversation out there.
Yeah, so what's the number one lesson, Mel? Be on time.
Be on time. Be on time. I've gotten better though. I just gotta get better.
Yeah.
1% better.
Yeah.
Each day. That's my motto.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you're starting at zero though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm like at 50%.
No, you're not bad. You're not bad.
But okay. Any last words you want to wrap up?
Man, I don't know. Go Cal State Fullerton.
Oh yeah, he also went to my university too.
Yeah, and then we got you college credit for an internship or something like that.
Shout out to Rahul.
Yeah, so we got her college credit, and then I went to Cal State Fullerton. So,
he's like, I don't want to say the year.
Yeah, I graduated in 2012. So not that long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of long ago, but not that long.
Y'all do the math.
Yeah. She can't do the math.
So we're both fellow Titans.
Yeah, I would say, wrapping it up, I would say like business is an arena where you're probably going to lose 90% of the time. So be able to understand rejection, be able to understand like, okay, but also know that like as you're getting rejected, as you're struggling, as you're not knowing what to do and those are the moments where you're learning. It might not seem like it. It might seem really frustrating at the time and stuff, but those are the moments where like you're being tested. And if you're able to see that and just get through those moments, the other side is good, because it is one thing to like, you need to just be patient with yourself. You have to be patient with the learning curve that comes along. Like there's businesses that have been around forever and they are going to know more than you. There's people out there who's going to know more than you. So you just have to be able to know like, okay, I don't know a lot. It's okay though. I am going to be able to stick with it. And you stick with it over time and it gets better. And it gets better, but you might not be able to recognize it because you're just in the weeds, right?
In the zone.
But then you're able to take a step back a couple years later and be like, all right, cool. Like, we were able to do some good things. And so it's tough. It's hard. And, it's definitely, you got to like it. That's for sure.
Because I feel like you personally have obviously the passion behind this industry. So I feel like that's why it helps you.
Yeah, it helps because I am the customer. Like I am the Stoned Genie customer. That was one of the main reasons I started it. Because I always hated to go into a smoke shop and buy an overpriced bong from a person who barely knows what the fuck they're talking about. And then like barely wants to help you. So
which one?
Yeah, I felt like that experience sucks. And you can't even look at everything. So I was like, okay. If we display all this stuff online and have good pictures and have good descriptions and price it at a good point, I think we can be successful. And that was like my whole strategy going into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's why I feel like that's helped you like stays where you're at,
It helps big time.
Like if you don't have that passion behind it, it usually just dies.
It dies, and you're not able to see things when they're bad. If you don't have a passion for stuff, because there's going to be bad times and there's going to be times where, you feel like it's almost over. It happens. But it feels like if you are someone that's not passionate about it, you're going to give up in those times. Yeah. And those are the moments where you're not going to be able to separate yourself from the competition. And the competition is literally the person who keeps coming back. That's how it works. And that's how you get successful.
True. Don't listen to the haters either.
Yeah, don't listen to the haters. If you have haters, it's a good thing.
Oh, yeah. Or the bots online.
Bots online,
Half of them are bots now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Have you ever dealt with hate online?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I mean, people might have been unsatisfied with stuff, but it comes with the territory. And you know what? Maybe they had a good point. So, if we see a comment that is somebody unsatisfied and it is probably from a customer, we'll DM them. We'll try to come to a resolution. It's not a problem for us. I feel like if you're honest and, you really try to do the right thing, I have nothing to be worried about. People could say what they want. Like, I know I got receipts. I know we tried to help. I know we did what we did. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's no big deal. I think when you're trying to like scam people and stuff like that, then like, you're going to deal with a lot of backlash. But with us, we're not doing that. So it's all good.
It's all business.
It's all business. Yeah.
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 For sure.
Any other questions?
I probably will think one after this, but
all right. Well,
but I feel like we got a good conversation out there, and just from your perspective of things, and
I mean,
what goes down a little bit.
Yeah,
behind Stoned Genie.
Yeah, reach out to Stoned Genie if you guys need glass items.
All the goods. So I'll have everything, down below in the show notes.
Link in bio. Oh, no. In the description, right?
Link in bio, show notes, everything. But yeah, I have one question, but I don't know if I should ask it.
Go for it.
Would you say you're like a true pothead?
I would say.
Or you're like chill about it?
It's no secret if I smoke weed. Like, I'm a true pothead, I would say. I've been smoking weed for a long time.
How many? Like, since how long?
See, I'm 34 now, so I've probably been smoking, like, pretty consistently since I was, like, 19, 20 years old.
Really?
14, 15 years, yeah. People used to be haters to stoners. And now, like, it's different.
So I always have to ask people, like, do you smoke it because it makes you feel good? Do you smoke it? Like, why do you smoke it? Or do you just like it?
Yeah, I smoke weed basically because, I like the high it gives you. I like the feeling. And I always have, like, try to, like, I use it in a way where, like, I'm trying to relax in the evening time or stuff like that. And I think as you get older, especially, you try to stay away from alcohol more. Like, I try not to drink really. Like you'll never catch me having, like, a nighttime beer, I guess, anymore. I used to, or anything, stuff like that. But I feel like weed allows me to, like, still indulge in vices, but not be, like, hungover for 3 days or 2 days. And I'm able to still bounce back and, get work done. Yeah, exactly. So I think weed is something that can be abused for sure. And I probably have abused weed, but if you can find the right mix, it could work for you.
Do you feel like you overuse it right now?
A little bit, yeah. I'm trying to just cut down and smoke just on the weekends, and that's pretty difficult.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll get stressed out, and I'm like, oh man,
I need it.
Yeah.
He's like, where it at? No, I just ask because I'm curious because I know everyone has like their reason why, or they just do it just cause.
Yeah, Yeah, I think I like. There's something with smoking that I like because even when I would like, there was a point in time where I tried to smoke cigarettes and stuff like that, and I know cigarettes are just bad for you, and so I can't do it. But there's something with smoking I think that attracts a lot of people, and I think that's what like attracted me in the beginning. And then like I remember just getting just to smoke. Just to like play video games and eat pizza. Like it started out very innocent, right? Like me and my friends would know we were gonna get high and play. We would play Mario Kart and shit like that.
Oh my gosh.
In college too. Like we would have an old N64 and we would just order pizza and then that would be our night. And that's kind of how it started. And then, I meet a lot of cool people. I've smoked weed all over the world. I've been to like everywhere. I've picked up weed everywhere. And
like bought weed
on the streets. I've bought weed in Spain, France, Amsterdam, Mexico, fucking anywhere. Like, you can buy it anywhere. I bought it in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
Like, it connects you with the different type of like people. You know what I mean? You're able to connect with people, and that's what I really like about it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are those like my final questions?
All right. Cool. That's it. All right, we out.
All right.
Peace.
Thank you everyone for listening. And that is a wrap.
It's a wrap.
You didn't say bye.
It's a wrap.
Oh, it's
It's a wrap.
a wrap. Hola plebes, that is a wrap for today's Hola Let's Chat podcast episode. I'm your host Melanie y muchas gracias a escuchar otro episodio conmigo. Espero que les hayan gustado y como siempre, you can always leave any feedback or reviews over on any of our listening platforms. Hasta luego.